It's 20 years, of course, since England faced Jurgen's Germany in that epic semi-final in Turin.
For our generation, the coming-of-age World Cup was Italia '90.
1990 was my World Cup. Obviously, I was 9 years old, and that was the best World Cup for me.
It was the first one that was near enough for my generation that everybody was going to get on the train and go.
Well, I remember Gaza. He was an amazing player.
Gaza was great fun to be with in the hotels and waiting for games to come around, but Gaza was always the one who had the jokes to play on someone.
I was younger than all of them, so they looked after us, and obviously we had some great jokes. It was a long time ago, but the memories never erased from my mind,
The Gascoigne booking and Gary pointing to the bench.
I remember missing the penalties.
And then when the match was over, just these big tears were coming down his cheeks.
I didn't realise that would be the only World Cup I would play in,
The best we actually played is when we went out. So, that was a disappointing thing.
This, of course, is the most momentous day for English football since July the 30th, 1966, and it's estimated that more than half the entire population of the country will be watching tonight's semi-final against West Germany.
We had the Kaiser, we had Franz Beckenbauer as the coach, and with him we usually get lucky.
I was very nervous, because I knew it would be my last World Cup as a manager.
But we had the likes of Matthäus, who was the captain. We had Bremer, we had Klinsmann, we had Völler. It was really one of the best German teams I believe we've ever had.
No one gave us much chance. The Germans had strolled through. They'd won every game in normal time. They had an extra day's rest. But we went out and surprised people.
It's like all good tournaments and all things in sport, we all need that little bit of luck.
And it's been deflected, and it's in the net!
And they got a really fluky goal, but we didn't give up. We kept going, as we'd done right throughout that competition.
Oh, and turned over! And it was only just scrambled away. And the shot back in was an absolute beauty by Gascoigne. The angle's not good for Klinsmann, and Walker did fabulously well.
It is a pleasure to see an England football team give a display like that.
What a shot and a good save. So Klinsmann's in a dangerous position inside left. Klinsmann missed it.
And it was a close game. We were up 1-0, but then Lineker scored.
I remember my goal vividly. Paul Parker just picked me out with that perfectly precision pass.
We're appealing for offside. The Germans, and they're in trouble.
It just bounced nicely for me, and I just flicked it from one thigh and hit it with my left foot, the old swinger.
And England have equalised!
And hit the back of the net, and it was an amazing feeling.
The ace marksman keeps England in the World Cup.
Yeah, I remember the tackle. I dribbled a couple, and then obviously the ball ran loose, and I thought I could have got to it. I think it was just on the occasion of the day, got to us more than anything else. Normally, I think when I look back at it, maybe I know I went for that challenge, but I mean, the guy was 6'5", and he dived like a 1-year-old and then started screaming. So, and then when I went to just even shake his hand and say, "I'm sorry," he rolled over again.
He's a very emotional lad, as everybody knows. In no way has he thought to himself, I better be careful here.
Oh dear me. He's going to be out of the final if England get there.
I think if the referee knew I had been on a yellow card, I don't think he would have given us that yellow card.
He's missing the final World Cup final, most important game of his life, and I think the whole country were behind him, and were gutted for him.
But once I knew I was going to miss the final, you could see how heartbroken that was, and the tears, I just couldn't stop the tears.
Everybody remembers Gary Lineker gesturing to the bench that Gaza was in a state.
Gary Lineker doing that. Keep your eye on him.
Obviously the famous moment with Gary Lineker with Gaza and what have you, keep your eye on him and what have you. I remember all that.
Keep your eye on him. I was saying, have a word, yeah.
Well, when I did it, obviously, I didn't even know that it would be viewed by anybody. It was certainly not meant for the cameras. It was just a little, I sort of saw his bottom lip was starting to go, and he was clearly upset. And I just wanted to make the bench aware of it, make Bobby aware of the fact that, keep an eye on him, basically, to make sure he's okay. But obviously at that point, I never realised that people would still be asking me that question 20 years on.
But if you have a look at the situation 10 minutes later when Bremner whacked me from behind, you know, and I got up and he just got yellow and was like a red, but I just got on with the game.
Gascoigne's refreshing attitude, particularly after his booking, is really good to see.
That for me was probably the most mature performance you've seen from Paul Gascoigne, because he would have recognised that he would have missed the final had we got there. Gaza being Gaza, you can never tell how he's going to react to that situation.
Gascoigne, driven it long, Lineker's away!
If we had got there, a lot of it would have been down to Gaza because he was immense in that game.
Oh, Waddle, can he square it for Lineker? Waddle shoots! Oh, and the rebound off the post just beat David Platt.
Watching it's agonising. I remember it, a couple of times, goals that are going in, missed chances, and...
It's penalties. You wouldn't really want it settled this way. You certainly wouldn't want to lose it this way.
Bobby said, France, we did a very, very good job. We saw a very, very good game. Now it's not up to us, whoever will be the winner. It's up to them.
I wasn't looking, to be honest.
And in a penalty shootout, we have a good track record, not only against England, but against most teams.
I won't say that we knew the writing was on the wall, but it just seems every time you play against Germany, you do feel a little bit inferior when it comes to penalties.
You were expected to actually score in 1990 because the goalkeepers were not allowed to move. Now the goalkeepers are allowed to move, and you see them regularly saving penalty kicks.
But still, it's a question of luck sometimes, and the German boys scored every one of them, and the two English boys couldn't.
If you look at Chris Waddle, look at Stuart Pearce, who've got two fantastic left feet. It was just one of those things whereby, the occasion probably got to us a bit.
I mean, I was supposed to take a penalty, but obviously I was still miles away, so I wasn't in the right frame of mind. Waddle went on and took the night penalty for us, and obviously Chris Waddle got him a pizza advert.
And England are out of the World Cup.
It was a bit upsetting, to see them when you didn't even hit the goals and they smashed it over the bar or whatever. But there you go. That's football.
So Bobby, he was brilliant. He was there, to put his arm around us and tell us how well we did ourselves and how much we achieved so much for the country. And we were totally bliss what was happening back home,
I mean, obviously everybody were gutted we never got through to the final, but Gaza was the one, and obviously instantly every single schoolboy wanted to be him, really.
I think Gaza was my man, he was my hero, and I think for a lot of people, as soon as you watch the England game, you go out and try and be Gaza in the playground.
He became the star of 1990 within 2 or 3 weeks, and that was extremely difficult for him to control, to handle.
Well, I remember coming back with just 2 minutes to go on the flight, and Gary Lineker come up to us and just said, "Be careful," and I didn't have a clue what he was on about.
It was just a little warning that things might be a little bit different for him when he got back. But knowing Gaza as being Gaza, it would have gone in one ear and out the other.